Hello CA Inter students. I am CA Rishab Ostwal. I have got only rank 1 in CA final, only rank 8 in CA Inter, only rank 1 in all the levels of CA. Today we are going to discuss how to prepare and present theory papers in CA Inter. A question commonly asked by me, by students to me. So the first step is choosing the right material. You need to choose a material which does not have material modifications when compared to your ICA material. So the essence, the core has to be same. The keywords cannot be changed. The subheadings cannot be changed. I generally prefer a material which is colorful and has bullet-wise presentation because this will help me in memorizing the concepts and it will not make me bored. And once you have chosen a material, then let's discuss few golden tips, few insider tips that will help you ace your theory exams. Now, the first tip, which actually helped me, is preparing sticky notes. I got on 93 in CA finals audit paper, which is the highest till date in the history of ICAI. Now, what different did I do? I used sticky notes. I wrote the answer on small sticky notes and stuck them on my wall. And I used to revise them on a daily basis for 20 to 30 minutes. So you can prepare sticky notes or summary notes and revise them on a daily basis. And the second tip is to memorize question, not only the answer. Now, I often see people memorize only the answer and they forget what is the question of that particular answer. Now, in the exam, they feel okay, two answers are a bit related to the question. And hence, you have to memorize not only the question but also the answer. You have to intertwine the question and the answer. And the most important tip I would say in theory papers is to first understand and then to memorize. People directly start memorizing the answer without understanding the concept. Let's take an example. For example, there is a question from essay, say from CA Inter's audit paper, essay 210, agreeing upon the terms of audit engagement. Now we have a question, prerequisites of audit. No, you have to understand what does the question say. The question says what are the conditions, what are the prerequisites, what are the conditions without which an audit cannot be done. Now, you need to have financial statements to audit, right? Unless you have financial statements, what will you audit? Now, suppose you have financial statements, but you do not have controls. The company does not have internal controls. In such a case, the financial statements are not reliable. Now, you have financial statements. The company also has internal controls, making the financial statements reliable. But the company is not giving you any information. How will you audit? So you also need to get information. And suppose you ask any additional information, the company is not replying. Even then audit cannot be done. And finally, the company has financial statements, the company has internal controls, the company has given you all the information which you need, but the company has dumped all the information to you. Now, how will you understand this information? You need to understand this information, you need access to employees, you need access to people within the company, right? So these are the prerequisites of audit. So you have to understand a question before memorizing it. Now, a lot of people, my friends, what they do is they start by having the preparation and presentation of financial statements, design and implementation of internal controls, additional information. That TAMR will not work in courses like CA and CM. Now, talking about the material, as you have to stick to one material throughout your preparation phase. I often see people juggling between different materials. A friend comes and says, okay, this material is better, it has more beautiful presentation, and then people suddenly switch to a new material, and that's not at all recommended. You have to stick to one material throughout your preparation and you need to revise that material multiple times. Now, doing this will make that subject your picture memory. Finally, we need to prioritize well. Now, what do you mean by prioritizing well? CA is such a vast course. The syllabus is so vast that you cannot direct 100% of your efforts to all the chapters. There are certain chapters which you need to focus more and certain chapters which you need to focus less. And then you need to make this categorization, which are category A chapters, B chapters, and C chapters, and accordingly prepare. Now, a few tips for your last day revision is again the same thing. I've put this innumerable times. I'm telling you again that revising 100% on the last day is impossible. So you have to focus on the important chapters first. Avoid doing new questions, new chapters. This will create panic in you. Focus on revising the existing syllabus. Now, a few tips for your exam day. Your time management is critical in theory papers. So I follow a very simple rule. You have 100 marks and you have 180 minutes. So I follow a simple rule of 1.8 minute per mark. and I keep reassessing this at regular intervals. Now then, you have to attempt easy and best questions first, because the first impression is the last impression of the evaluator, and hence you have to attempt the question which you know the best in the first place. And give references to section names, standard names wherever you know it, clauses, etc. This will get a positive impression on the evaluator. Now, while you are writing the exam, underline the keywords. I am not saying you to do this after you finish the exam. So you have to underline the keywords while you are writing the exam itself. Suppose you have written a particular answer, quickly underline the keywords. Do not take a separate effort to underline the keywords. Your handwriting does not really matter. Write legibly, write in bullet points. As long as the content is understandable, that's completely alright. Start a fresh question on a fresh page. Do not be a miser. Presentation is very, very critical in theory papers, and hence you have to underline your bullet points, and you have to start a fresh question on a fresh page. That is it. All the very best, and stay connected with us for more such content.